I'm Fran Madden, and my husband and I are a foster home for Golden Gate Basset Rescue. This is our house in Redwood City, just a regular suburban home, 2 bedrooms. We foster dogs that are waiting to be adopted and keep them and treat them as though they were our own until they find a new home. This is my husband, Mark. He's he's a semi-retired veterinarian, and he also, for Golden Gate Basset Rescue, sometimes he does some of the treatments of some of the rescue dogs that come through. These are our dogs, Billy and Bob. Billy's the one in the back that's mostly white. We adopted him in 2010. He came from a local shelter. He was actually on his way to a foster home. He was only supposed to stay with us for a weekend, and we liked him so much he never left. The other one is Bob, and we just adopted him in February of this year, 2014. He came from a shelter as well. He was in foster care for over a year before we met him and decided to adopt him. They're both great, and they're both great with our foster dogs. This fine red and white fellow here is our current foster dog, Neil. He is, we think he's possibly 10, 11 years old. He could be younger than that. He is blind. He's completely blind. He apparently had some kind of an injury to the corneas. We are, head shake, we are treating him currently for an ear infection, but otherwise he is healthy, happy boy. We have no difficulties with him at all. The fact that he can't see doesn't really seem to affect his quality of life at all. He finds his way around, and we treat him pretty much just like we do Billy and Bob. No special treatment. Just try not to move the furniture too much. As I say, he is our foster dog, and he is available for adoption. Neil sleeping on a dog bed here in our bedroom. We have dog beds similar to this in the kitchen and in the living room, the places where we hang out, so that the dogs can hang out with us. We happen to prefer the dog sleeping on dog beds rather than on our beds, but certainly there are plenty of foster homes who do like their dogs sleeping with them in the bed, and that's perfectly fine too. We don't have any restrictions in that regard, as long as they are able to sleep in the house and have a comfortable place to sleep. One of the dog beds in the kitchen is actually in this little plastic pen, and for no good reason at this time. That's Billy, and there's Bob. It's actually their favorite bed. They both like it. We do sometimes use this and close the door on it if we have a dog that's either incontinent or maybe a new foster dog that we're not quite sure whether they're housebroken or not. So if we need to leave them unsupervised in the house, or for instance overnight while we're sleeping, we do sometimes employ this little pen. Bobby's making his bed over there. It's hard to get it just right. Now inside the house, in the dining room, I do have caged birds. These have never really been a problem. The dogs have not been too interested in them. But what I do as a precaution is I do have the doorway to the dining room blocked off with an exercise pen. You can certainly make use of exercise pens or baby gates or whatever to block off areas that you might not want the dogs to have access to. Our backyard is securely fenced. Actually, we have it divided in half a little bit so that the dogs stay down from the upper part. The upper part has trees that drop little plums, and the dogs end up eating the plums and the seeds, and prefer that they not do that. So, so as I say, we have the upper part fenced off, but the rest is securely fenced all the way around. And there's the back door, and then we have this covered area here with some dog beds and dog houses, and our dogs actually do like the dog houses. This is a nice place for them to hang out in, to get away from weather, from rain or from sun. It's nice and shady. So I'm Fran, and now you've seen our home in Redwood City. We are a Golden Gate Basset Rescue foster home. Besides this home in Redwood City, we also have a second home in the Sierra foothills. That home is on acreage, but we do have the couple of acres around the house are securely fenced for dogs, so the dogs can go up there and live the country life. They kind of alternate that, as do we. We go back and forth between the two homes. Also up there we have cats and chickens. The cats are not afraid of dogs, so particularly for our foster dogs, it's kind of nice to be able to cat test them. We can see how they are, how they are living with cats. Mark and I have been members of Golden Gate Basset Rescue since the beginning in 2005, and actually even before that, before it was Golden Gate Basset Rescue, we were active in the organization shortly after we adopted our first rescued basset in 1998. Our favorite dogs to foster are actually the senior dogs. The seniors work out better for us. They're a little lower energy. Billy and Bob are not young anymore, and sometimes it can be hard on them to have a young rambunctious dog around, so the seniors work out the best for us. So for me and Mark and Golden Gate Basset Rescue, thank you very much for your support.